Imagine a surgeon standing between two emergency trauma bays. On the left is the critically injured leader of their country. Saving them stabilizes a nation on the brink of collapse. On the right is the surgeon's own child, rapidly fading. There is only time to save one. This is a moral paradox. It happens when two intersecting duties require mutually exclusive actions, and inaction itself guarantees a catastrophe. Every available option carries a devastating moral cost. This state of paralyzing deadlock is the exact catalyst for the Bhagavad Gita. Before it becomes a philosophical masterwork, the text opens with a severe psychological breakdown on the edge of a civil war. The ancient text begins at Kurukshetra, a sprawling field where two massive armies have gathered to fight. But the opening verse specifically calls this place Dharmakshetra, the field of righteousness. Just before the weapons fly, the era's ultimate warrior, Arjuna, asks his charioteer to drive to the exact center of the two opposing forces. Standing in that no man's land, Arjuna experiences a sudden, violent physical collapse. He reports that his skin is burning and his limbs are shaking. His legendary weapon, the Gandiva bow, slips from his fingers. He refuses to fight. To understand the rest of the text, we first have to figure out why the greatest, most capable soldier in the world would suffer a panic attack seconds before a battle begins. From the middle of the battlefield, Arjuna looks across the enemy lines and doesn't see a faceless military threat. He sees his own blood relatives. He sees his grandfathers, his uncles, and the very teachers who trained him how to hold a bow. It is easy to assume he just lost his nerve, but reading his dialogue in the first chapter, he never once mentions a fear of dying. His terror comes entirely from the crushing weight of responsibility. He is looking at the long-term consequences of this war, realizing that to win the kingdom, he will have to slaughter his own family. Arjuna is paralyzed by the weight of his own accountability, knowing that every available choice leads to an unforgivable tragedy. Arjuna is trapped between two absolute moral forces, a concept known as dharma. The first is kshatriya dharma, his professional duty to fight tyranny and protect the innocent. If Arjuna walks away, evil wins and society suffers under an unjust rule. But the second force is kula dharma, his familial duty to preserve his dynasty. Ancient laws dictate that destroying one's family ruins societal traditions, plunging survivors into chaos. Overthinking goes in circles, but deep thinking drives you to the logical end. Arjuna has arrived at a legitimate, catastrophic dead end. His two highest moral duties require mutually exclusive actions. To fulfill his professional duty, he must destroy his family. To save his family, he must abandon his professional duty. Human logic is utterly useless here. Chapter 1 ends with Arjuna making the only choice left to him. He casts aside his legendary bow, abandoning his professional duty, and sinks into the back of his chariot. But the opposing forces have already sounded their war conches. The wheels of war are turning, and they will grind forward whether he fights or not. The first chapter is titled The Yoga of Dejection, defining Arjuna's collapse as the necessary first step toward receiving wisdom. Before a person can receive ultimate wisdom, they must first recognize the complete limits of their own understanding and realize that worldly morality cannot solve every problem. And as Arjuna sits defeated, out of answers, his charioteer, Krishna, calmly holds the reins, waiting for the warrior to ask for help. The stage is set for the Supreme Lord to speak.